Underlying energy is the Three of Swords. Underneath that is the Ace of Swords. I think there's just some clarity. Some situations, something came out to be absolutely clear with you on some things, and it triggered an old memory. I think there's some old stuff that needs to be let go of and released, so that way, again, just like Cancer, you can have a new beginning. And I feel like this is someone you see that you can create a great future with, a person, a woman, or a man. It could be either one, guys. Just because you see queens and kings in here, please understand that this is a general reading for everyone, and there's no gender specificness in this reading. But you can get a personal reading with me where there will be. But this is serious right now. I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's hard. This is a really hard decision that you have to make, honestly, about what you guys are going to do, what you want to do. I think a lot of you guys have experienced a bit of heartache, or realized that there's some old issues that have gone unresolved, or gone untreated, pretty much. Because you have the Seven of Swords as your challenge, which talks about, moving away or avoiding something or situation. It can also talk about taking a risk. And I feel like this is really what it's kind of pointing to. Like, it's a little mixture of avoidance and a little mixture of taking a risk. So I think you guys are the challenge is taking a risk, but you're not sure if it's worth the effort. The Seven of Pentacles. Right? So you take the risk, but what exactly are you taking the risk for? How long is it going to get you to where you want it to be? This is a really big step in a certain direction that definitely leaves you more at risk of getting hurt than winning, right? That's what it kind of looks like to me. You guys are seeing the situation from a very negative side. Right? You're seeing this situation that's like, okay, if I put myself out there, this person can totally screw me over. Instead of seeing like, okay, there's a potential for growth and healing and expansion and, creating something. Some of you guys may be thinking that way. Some of you guys may be thinking completely opposite. Maybe seeing like, this is an opportunity to build something wonderful with a person that I adore and I love, but maybe there is this feeling like you don't know how to contribute. You don't know how to create something beautiful or wonderful with this person. Maybe you don't see yourself as very creative right now. There's some self-doubt that's definitely coming up here. I don't know who this Queen of Swords is. For some of you guys, this could be an Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or this is you guys being very serious and very, non-playing, non-negotiating individual. Like, you guys are very serious. I think you guys are also very protective because you guys have been hurt, and you guys are not interested in playing games. So that could be you guys. Okay? And it explains the Seven of Swords, right? Like, you're not sure if you want to take that step in that direction. So you guys could be avoiding things, dodging things, kind of like, duck and dodging people and dodging the person. Because I think there is this kind of feeling that you want to create something with someone, but that's that self-doubt, right? There's something that just doesn't feel right. Not that it's intuition telling you otherwise. I feel like it's more of like your old issues are coming back up. The triggers of this, the triggers that you've got, like I said, are unaddressed, therefore causing you to feel like you can't do X, Y, and Z, or maybe you just don't feel like it's safe to, to do something that you want to do here. Okay, now I kind of get this feeling, guys, that the Queen of Wands, I don't know if this person is you. It could be, because you did have the Emperor and the Page of Swords. So the Page of Pentacles, excuse me, the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles that came out earlier for you guys. That was somebody that came in and offered something to you, but this was someone of divine masculine energy. This doesn't have to be a man. Divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy are both in men and women. So this person here could be you, right? The Queen of Wands, man or woman. And I feel like you guys are, definitely feeling more of your energy. Definitely wanting to create more, wanting to go ahead and establish something, and coming up with new ideas and give birth to new crops, to birthing something abundant with you and your partner. Perhaps to give birth. Maybe some of you guys are pregnant. But I don't necessarily think that's just the case. I think for some of you guys, this is the other person. And like I said, you do see them as as someone safe, someone that you can definitely rely on, someone that's nurturing, that's very caring. Some of you guys, this Page of Pentacles could be a domestic situation. Maybe you guys are talking about moving in with one another. With the Seven of Pentacles, it's like you don't really know if this is something that you know, that's worth the effort to pursue, worth the effort to make happen. Or not necessarily make happen, but mostly to continue the work, because you guys have already put in a lot in this relationship. You guys already put a lot of work in this relationship. And I feel like for a lot of you guys are just like not sure if this is something you want to continue putting your effort into, your time and effort into. Some of you guys are just kind of unsure of what to do next. I think you guys maybe feel like you've done a lot of things already, and you're not sure of exactly what to do next with this relationship. Therefore, it causes you guys to have a lot of stress in the future, or maybe you guys see yourselves as having a lot of stress because you don't necessarily know what you guys need to do to continue to build the relationship. But the Seven of Swords is the constant situation, right? So it's almost like you're saying that maybe a risk needs to be taken in order for there to be, not necessarily in order for there to be a possibility of something happening, but in order for there to, well, not in order, but like I'm saying, like the situation, you may have to just take a risk and see how it goes anyway, instead of just kind of figuring things out from where you are, because honestly, there's so much you can do with so many different things with very little things. Imagine, how do people become, billionaires from nothing? They have to be creative, and I feel like a lot of this has to do with your creativity and your diligence to to your goal with this individual, with your life, with your career, whatever. So I do feel like for some of you guys, you just may have to take that risk, because there's no way to know exactly how things are going to turn out. You gotta have to be there in the moment. And if this was why I'm feeling like this Page of Wands versus the Queen of Wands, rather, is someone else, because I feel like this person's in the moment. Well, someone else is planning ahead. I feel like you're planning ahead way too far out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you haven't even gotten there yet, maybe. Or maybe you have, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a solution. Because the Nine of Swords is your future. It's not showing us anything. When that card comes up, it's not showing us a glimpse of nothing. Because it's like you're somebody stressed out, doesn't have faith in themselves, is depressed, anxious. And I feel like it's because someone doesn't see the potential for there to be, not someone doesn't see the potential to be growth, but someone doesn't know how to continue to move forward. Right? So how far can we actually go with this? Well, the King of Pentacles is the goal, aim, ambition. And the King of Pentacles always finds a solution. He's very diligent, he's committed, and I think that's the thing. Just commit yourself to the relationship instead of looking at what potential it has at growing at anything. I mean, of course, it's important to know if this is a relationship, to know whether or not somebody's intentions is to create a family, to get, to have kids, if that's what you're trying to get to, right? If you're trying to build a relationship with somebody and, well, you want to have kids and you want to settle down, it's important to know those things, definitely. But as far as there to, this doubt of not being sure of whether to move forward or not, I feel like with the King of Pentacles, is saying is that, is to remember who you are, not just not just a person that deserves happiness, but also is aware of their value and their capabilities. Because the King of Pentacles is diligent, he's hardworking. He's not just focused on on material stuff. He's really working at what he needs to do to provide for his family, to be stable. And for some of you guys, you want to have a stable home. It's very Taurian energy that's coming up here. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, you want to be stable. You guys want to be solid. You guys want to be, either, I think you guys want to be comfortable, but not just within the relationship, but with yourselves. But I think you got to alleviate this feeling of not being good enough. Let me see. Why is the Seven of Pentacles in the crossing energy? Because of the Devil. And what is the devil here for this situation? The reason why you guys have doubts and you guys are not sure whether or not this is something worth the effort or time, or the reason why you guys are not sure of what to do after this, as you said, the reason why you don't know what to do after this point, at this point right now, is because of some sort of old habit or old behavior. What is this old behavior and old habit? Or perhaps addictions, the Four of Pentacles. Okay, coming outside of your comfort zone. I think you guys are trying to find a reason to stay away from something that can potentially be wonderful. What is the Empress in the outcome? You guys got to get outside your comfort zone, because I think honestly, who cares? Like, make it happen. You guys are the creator of your destiny. The Ace of Wands. Yeah, see? Old triggers, okay, so there's some stuff in regards to your confidence. The Queen of Swords is very independent and very confident, so is the Queen of Wands. And I feel like the situation comes all the way back to confidence in yourself to make something happen, make something work. Right? Of course, you can do the best that you can with what you got. But I feel like the situation is this, like these old habits of, I don't know if I could do this, I don't know if I could do this. Those things are just reasons to keep yourself from being able to expand, to grow, to do anything. It's just like holding on to your home and not breaking free, not trying something new. Or for instance, like you have an opportunity to go travel, you don't take it because you're afraid of a plane, because you hear all these people say, okay, X, Y, and Z happens when you're on a plane. It doesn't happen on a plane sometimes, right? It's not every time you go on a plane. And I feel like for your life, you guys, you want to take this risk, but you're afraid of something not working out. Or you're just not sure, right? You're just not sure. And I feel like the reason why you guys are having these triggers come up, because I think somebody offers you something that, that requires building, that requires patience, that requires time, and you're not sure if you want to put all that into it because, you had to protect yourself at one period of time. In a sense of, you don't want to get hurt. You had heartache, right? With heartache with the truth, something coming to light, some clarity, some perspective. This perspective here is about creativity and having the potential to create something amazing, creating abundance, a beautiful relationship, going after your career. Like, everything can be wonderful as long as you have a positive view and always search for solutions. And instead of continuing this cycle of trying to talk yourself out of something because you're afraid of its turnout, because you're in your outcome, you have the 10 of Wands. Ultimately, you have to drop this burden. This burden being, whatever's keeping you back. Whatever these old things, these old beliefs that make you feel like you can't be successful. Because ultimately, right, you can be successful. But it's all about the attitude. Can you do it? Faith is knowing, can you do it? And if you don't believe in yourself, why don't you? Let's figure it out together. Because the King of Pentacles believes in himself. And that's what the cards are asking you to aspire to be right now. Be the King of Pentacles. What have you shown yourself that makes you feel like you can't achieve your goals? What successes have you had in your life that you were proud of? Because this is about you, right? A change in the wind. Things are adjusting. Things are changing right now. And a change in the wind, it talks about not making really any plans at this moment because, things are weird. Things are not in a very stable place. But when things do, be prepared to kick off. So it's just about following your intuition. Don't really make any hasty choices right now. Don't just do anything abruptly. But a change in the wind also just talks about changes in general, a shift in the energy. And I think that's what it is. I think you're fighting with yourself at this moment about doing something new based off of the new you, while the old one is still clinging on. And I think that this new beginning is big for you too. Like, as far as you don't know if you want to do it, you don't know if you want to put in the time and the effort, because there's a lot of old habits and behaviors that have been distilled in you that you have to relearn and unlearn, pretty much. Children. Oh wow, your love life is being affected by children. I was saying some of you guys may be trying to have kids, and I think that may have been the case. But some of you guys as well, maybe you guys don't really want to have children because you're afraid. Maybe this is because of the, how you grew up. You don't want to raise your kids like how you grew up. But you guys know that you guys have such big hearts. You guys won't, you guys will raise your children in a way that you see fit. It's up to you. You don't have to raise your children the way that you were raised. Because the children card here, this children card doesn't have to mean raising actual kids. It could talk about healing your inner child. And your inner child has been through some shit. And if you guys continue to let this kind of fester and just being, untouched, you're going to continue to run into problems that your that your children, your inner child is going to end up facing. Every time you interact with somebody, every situation you interact with, right, is a trigger. It's always going to come up. It's never going to be able to be, ignored. You can't ignore it anymore. It's just unignorable. And if you try to ignore it, if you try to get away from it, it'll find you. And if you want to do that, go ahead. My readings may not be for you, because this is not about let's hold on to the things that I'm afraid of doing differently. It's time to make amends with the past so you guys can have a future that you guys deserve to have. And in order to do that, the only way to do that is by acknowledging the patterns in your behaviors and facing them. Why do you have those patterns? Why do you do this? Why do you believe you're not good enough? Why do you, why do you choose to act in a certain way? What are these attachments to this? What are these attachments that make you feel safe when you know it isn't actually healthy? And then figuring it out and finding true solutions to them. Letting go of the burden, dropping that. It's a hard thing to do, especially when it comes to being honest with yourself. But the more you're clearing that energy, the closer and closer you'll be to yourself again. Don't let something new, don't let the truth be your enemy. Let it be your ally. So you can feel stable, so you can feel strong in yourself again. And you don't have to worry about what the future will look like. You could just be like, whatever it is, I'm going to create it, and that's going to be, that's it. Taking control of your life again. Because remember, the devil talks about giving away your power. You're giving your power away to this comfort zone, to these old habits, to this, either if this is a relationship, to this relationship. Whatever these things that you feel like you're tied to or you're trapped to, it's not keeping you truly. It's a choice. And it's time for you to find that choice. Even if it's not very obvious and out in the open, you can choose to say, I'm not doing this anymore. And it's one of those hard choices that we all have to make. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easy to do, because I've got my own stuff I've got to deal with that's similar to this. But it's not the end game. We've got other end games that are coming our way, but this is like one of the biggest stuff. So let's do it.